Racheal Odinga have vowed, or they called for another meeting at Kamukunji on the 7th of July, that is on Sabasaba Day, where they told their supporters they will be giving them the clarion call of what to do next. And of course that has been to go back to the streets in civil disobedience against the finance bill, the Finance Act of 2023, saying they will protest against it until the Kenya Kwanza government repeals it. The questions have been, how does Azimio intend to do this? Let me start with you, Racheal. What's your take on this? Kenyans have given their views on the Finance Act of 2023. The tough times are coming, starting tomorrow with the review of pump prices by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, where we are expecting the cost of fuel to go up by almost 10 shillings per litre, depending on what it is. What do you make of Azimio's response to this with street protests?
I think first we are all in agreement that there is a lot of the economy is really in downhill completely, and people are suffering generally. The cost of living is very high to many people, be it in employment or just doing your general business. And looking at it with the now the new act, the Finance Act, it's going to get even harder, not just again for the traders or the hustlers, but all of us as Kenyans. So I think one of the reasons as to why Azimio are still adamant and calling for a Sabasaba Day to start a new protest is because of the high cost of living. But again, allow me to say this, that where we really needed Azimio to come out strongly was in Parliament, where we did not see the numbers that we expected to see them fighting and coming out and calling a spade and saying we are not in support of this bill. Instead of that, some of them walked out. Most of them boycotted the voting or even the contribution generally. And so, one, yes, there is a right for us to as Kenyans, it's actually enshrined in the Constitution that we can air our grievances or our views as pertaining to any issue that we feel the government is not doing right. But again, we have people, legislators who were elected to represent the people. So there are voices when it comes to policies, there are voices when it comes to laws that are being passed, but when they're not playing that role, coming back to people again, because even if the Azimio team continue with the protests, even if as at now we know that the same act is being challenged in court, even if it passes, again we'll have to come back to the same Parliament to make amends to the same laws. How will it play? Are they going to again run away from Parliament after when the bill is brought by UDA people, for example? So I think each and every one of us should play our role effectively. Let us not play what do you call it? Ball games with when it comes to laws. That let us wait for this to pass for us to always be reactive to certain things. Why don't we be more proactive? Why don't we see us coming out and also airing our views? We can literally count how many ODM members of Parliament participated in the whole entire process until now this became a law. You can literally count how many WIPA members contributed, not just voting, but contributed, literally saying, I have an issue with this particular section of the bill. I have an issue with this particular section of the bill. And it is not just having an issue with the particular section of the bills, but again, we expect them to give alternatives. When you're saying we have an issue with this, what is that you're bringing on board? How then do you want the government to deal with it? Not just complaining, but offering solution to the same complaints. No. So yes, Azimio, it is our right to picket and to have a demonstration.
All right. Yeah. Dismas, tax defiance, that is what they called it at Kamukunji grounds. The Azimio leadership accusing the government of acting against Kenyans. What's your take on this?
You know, refusing to pay taxes is a criminal offense with individual responsibility. So if a Kenyan decides to take Mr. Raila Odinga's advice and refuses to pay tax and KRA checks in, I'm not sure whether Raila Odinga is the one who will appear in court or whether he'll come to court in solidarity. So in my view, that strategy will not fly. And also the other one, when he says that allow matatus to carry double passengers so that you reduce the fares. If you commit a criminal offense, a traffic offense, it's you with the traffic policeman. I'm not sure whether Raila Odinga will come and join you.
There are things like
commercial courts.
They called on their supporters, Azimio, to use public transport and carpool to make sure they do not give their Kenya Kwanza government much in terms of the petroleum tax, the VAT 16%. Is this plausible?
It's not plausible, and again, that's what is referred to as gallery politics. Because for Mr. Raila Odinga, when he landed in Kenya, he should have walked from the airport to Kamkunji, or this morning, he should have walked from Karen to his office, so that he leads by example. But let's look at this thing of mass action critically. In my view, it's been a moving target. Initially, he called mass action because he says his election was stolen. Then at some stage, he said it's all about IBC. Now it's about the Finance Act. So it seems to me that he's clashing on straws.